When we hear of an accident, we think of this. But when it comes to Tesla, we see this. Is this true? Can we really say goodbye to accident injuries and deaths? Car accidents and its consequences have been a big issue since ever. It is ranked as the 9th leading cause of death and accounts for 2.2% of all deaths globally. How safe are Tesla's cars? And is it really safe for the car to drive itself completely? Those questions and more will be answered in the upcoming minutes. But first, smash that like button and follow us if this is your first visit. Let's get back to topic. Automotive manufacturers have always been developing new systems to protect the driver and the passengers as much as they could. Tesla and electrical SUVs in general opened new capabilities in automobile safety. And this is of course due to its new design that lacks most of the mechanical components, which changed all the game in this topic. One reason you'd be safer in a Tesla is that electric cars don't have an engine, so all the steel and aluminum at the front crumples and absorbs much of the impact. Speaking of safety tests, there are multiple organizations that do the tests, and multiple tests will be conducted on the car. Frontal crash test.
3, 2, 1.
Top roof test. Rollover test, and many more. Rollovers are a critical issue in car accidents. It could lead to passengers being thrown out of the car, that in most cases will cause serious injuries or even death. When it comes to Tesla, it solves this problem and reduces this risk to a very minimum rate. And this is due to the nature of electrical cars' design, where most of the weight is in its bottom center caused by the battery pack, which in turn results in a lower center of gravity. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the Tesla Model S have one of the lowest rollover risk rates, with just 5.7%. The Model 3 scored a 6.6%, the Model Y 7.9%, and the Model X 9.3%. This is a great achievement. But this doesn't mean that a Tesla can't roll over, and for this reason Tesla decided to produce a tough roof that could protect the passengers to the maximum. According to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, Tesla Model 3 could sustain up to 20,835 pounds of peak force, while the Model S could sustain up to 19,271 pounds of peak force. Or, as Tesla points out, it can withstand the weight of about 2 full-grown African elephants. Tesla Model 3 and Model S have received the overall G rating from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, which is the highest rating a car could receive. Also, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration gave the Model 3, Model X, and Model Y a 5 stars rating. When it comes to the front and side crash tests, all Tesla models excelled, getting the highest ranks. In the frontal test, the lack of an engine was a great advantage. Other than lowering the center of gravity, the frontal aluminum will crumple and absorb much of the impact, preventing it from being transmitted to the occupants. Along with a thick curtain airbag that is uniquely shaped, helps protect the passenger's head. As you can see, the dummy's head, which is smeared in grease paint, shows where the head contacted the airbag. Since there is no room for the aluminum to crumple on the sides as the front, the side of the car is the least protected part. To overcome this weakness, Tesla designed the sides with an ultra-high-grade steel, shown in blue. Not only this, but a thick curtain side airbag will also contribute to a higher safety rating. Those are all known as passive safety factors, which covers what happens in an accident and how to protect the passenger. Now, why don't we prevent the accident itself from happening? This is what we call the active safety factors. This includes an auto braking system and auto steering lane support system. Euro NCAP tested the braking system for a stationary car and a moving car at different speeds. The system was also tested for moving pedestrians and cyclists. The Model S was the least performing, where the braking system failed to stop the car crashing a slower moving car at 2 tests, and needed driver intervention. The Model X performed better in stopping the car from crashing a moving or stationary car. But it failed in stopping the car from hitting a sudden moving pedestrian when the car was at 30 km/h speed. This takes us to the best performer, the Model 3, that passed all the tests without any failure. Now let's go back to our question: can Tesla save your life? The answer is yes and no. Confusing? I know. We will consider two real-life examples to explain the case. In Oregon, the driver of a Model 3 crashed into a pole, hit two trees, and a telephone box. The impact was so severe that hundreds of small batteries that work together to power the Tesla were ejected onto the road. Despite the damage, the driver walked away with only minor injuries. On the other hand, in 2018, a Model X on autopilot drove into a concrete barrier in California, killing the Apple engineer who had been playing a game on his iPhone and failed to take over the steering of the car. This clearly shows us that a Tesla car could save you and others' life if you were alerted. Until now, fully autonomous cars are still a dream. With any system that isn't fully autonomous, the driver has to remain alert. Not doing so can have fatal consequences. But for sure, fully autonomous cars will help reduce the number of accidents. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms shown.